From today onwards, we are going to see this unit 3. Okay, that is a tree data structure. Actually, till now we studied only the linear data structure, isn't it? Okay, actually, you know what is my data structure, isn't it? So, what is my data structure? The way of organizing the data in a specified form, we call it as a data structure. Okay, and basically the data structure depends upon the structure. The data structures will be divided into two types. One is a linear data structure, other one is non-linear data structure. And in the case of linear data structure, the elements are arranged in a linear form, that is a one after other in a sequential order. We call it as a linear data structure. Already we discussed more about this data structure in our first unit and second unit. We discussed about list, stack, queue. All those data structure comes under your linear data structure. Okay, depends upon your application, you'll be using this type of data structure. And we studied the usage of this data structure more in your first unit and second unit. And in this third unit and fourth unit, you'll be studying about your non-linear data structure. And let's see what is the use of this nonlinear data structure, why we have to go for this nonlinear data structure. Okay, so all the data structure will be applied depends upon your applications where you are going to use. Depends upon that one, we will be using the data structure concepts over there, isn't it? Say suppose if I want to know the list, that is the students details. Okay, so what I will do means I will go for a list data structure. So you say suppose how many students are there in your second year A section in an alphabetical order. If I want to know these type of details means I will store the data in a linear form. Okay, so that will be the better one for this type of applications. Say suppose if I want to store some information in an hierarchical manner, like employee details, or if I want to store some information, some family details in an hierarchical manner means, then I cannot use the linear data structure. In that case, I go for a non-linear data structure, that we call it as a example is tree or graph data structure. Okay, so if the elements which cannot be stored in a linear form, okay, then we go for a non-linear data structure. So first, before enter into this nonlinear data structure, let's see what are the topics are there in your third unit. Okay, so this is a third unit syllabus. Okay, so in the syllabus we are going to study all the tree concepts. Okay, so in your third unit you'll be studying tree concept, and in your fourth unit you'll be studying a graph, and in your third unit you'll be studying a tree. What are the different types of tree available, where will you use this tree concepts, all this will be studying in your third unit. And today you are going to see only the basic thing. Okay, what do you mean by tree, what are the applications of tree, what are the terminologies which are used in your tree data structure, and different types of tree data structure, basically how they are classified. Okay, so all these concepts you are going to see in today's class. And I'm going to explain one small code. Okay, how the nodes are created, how we are going to store one element in your node. Okay, so that you are going to see in today's class. So first, let's start our first topic. So first one is tree. Okay, so how we can define your tree data structure. Tree is a non-linear data structure which is used to represent your data in a hierarchical form. Okay, so in where we be using this tree data structure means in real life, that is a family tree. Okay, so in that, if I want to represent our family in your some representation means, what we will do, you will have a first grandparents, then from that you will have a parents, then after the parents will be having a children, and goes on like this, isn't it? So if I want to represent this one, so I go for only the tree data structure, not a linear data structure, isn't it? So so in your family tree, I can use this one. And where after this family tree, where I can use this tree data structure means book. Okay, if you take a book, okay, so if you see this index page, okay, so you can see that, okay, if I want to refer some if I want to search, or if I want to refer some content means, the whole thing if I want to search means it will be a tedious task. Instead of that, what I will do, I will go and refer your index page. In that index page, I will have this content in this way, like first chapter. Inside that first chapter, I will be having a subheadings. Inside that subheadings, I may have some important topics over there. It will be marked, and correspondingly, I'll be having a page number, isn't it? So if I represent that one in a tree data structure only, it will be easily, I can go for a searching. Say suppose if that one is implemented in your list data structure means, then what happens, from first node to last node, I have to search it for a particular content, isn't it? So depends upon the application, I'll be using a data structure. So other data structure like class inheritance, and if you see your that is, you'll be studying your inheritance concept in your OOPS concept. And if you see your files, okay, file system in your computer, like let us consider in your hard disk, okay, so you'll be having how they are stored your files means, in your hard disk they are partitioned into a n, okay, that is a C drive, D drive, etc, etc. So first you'll be having a hard disk. So from that hard disk you will have some n partitions like C drive, D drive, E drive. Again, this C drive will be partitioned into n folders. Like some folders, let us consider the names as roots, some class 2, something like this. And against that sub folders will be divided into a subfolders, and inside that folders you will have a n number of files, isn't it? So this is an also an example of a tree implementation. And next one is decision tree. So decision tree means, suppose it is also some tool in which in some cases sometimes you will be in a position to take decision whether I have to choose this path or that path. That is the if conditions. If you want to implement that if conditions means, in that cases I have to go for a decision tree. And last one is a top down approach. Always you that is a if in our compiler, okay, you'll be studying this top down approach, and let's see that one in a later. Okay, so this is the overview of a tree data structure. Okay, I think you got some idea about this tree data structure, in what way you'll be using this tree data structure. So once again, I'm going to repeat this. So tree is a non-linear data structure which is used to represent that entities that are in some hierarchical relationships. Okay, and this tree data structure contains the nodes and edges. Okay, so in your list or stack data structure, in order to store your some content, you'll be using a nodes, isn't it? Similarly, in your tree data structure also, you'll be using a nodes in order to store values to it. Okay, and in order to connect your two nodes, you'll be using a one thing we call it as a edges. Okay, so edges and nodes are there in your tree data structure. So next slide, let's see the representation of your tree data structure. Okay, so this is how they represent. So you all know that if you see this tree, okay, so when you see this tree, this root plays a important role, isn't it? So if you don't have your root means, you will not, it is not you, then that is a waste of keeping your other branches or something like this, isn't it? So this is a important thing. So if you take any data structure, tree data structure, you will have only one root in your tree. Okay, so this is a root, and after that you'll be having a branches. From root you will have a n number of branches, and from that individual branches it grows another branches. It keeps on growing like this. Okay, it's up. I have taken this one as an upside down. If you take your tree data structure, this is an example of a tree data structure. Okay, so in this data structure, I have taken employee detail as an example. Let us consider John is a CEO of a company. So, okay, so he is the head of the whole company. Okay, so under his control, only all the things going to happen. So where I will put his name means I am going to mark his name in a head. Okay, so root will be marked as a John. Okay, so always you remember that one. Remember this one. That is the you have to give priority to a root node. Okay, that is a parent node. Okay, can also call it as a parent. Okay, so for this John, what happens means you have a two classified into two branches. Okay, one is a that is a CTO branch. Other one is a president. Again, the CTO is divided into a n number of branches, Lee, Bob, Ella, and it goes on like this. Okay, so this is a simple example of a tree representation. Okay, so remember this one always. In a tree data structure, you will have only one root node. Okay, and you will have a n number of branches. And this is an example of which one is a tree and which one is not a tree. So first one shows this is not a tree. Why? Because if you have nodes means you will have only one link between two nodes. Okay, say suppose if D is already connected with C node means, okay, D is already connected with C nodes, and after that you that, like, let us consider this C node is connected with E node, and you should not connect your D node with your E node. When you connect it like this means what will happen means this type of structure we call it as a graph data structure. This is not a tree data structure. Okay, that is, if I take n number of nodes is there in your tree data structure means only n minus 1 edges are allowed in your tree data structure. Example, so this line represents the edges. Okay, so round represents the nodes. How many nodes are there in your first diagram means, so 1 2 3 4 5, isn't it? So 5 nodes are there in your tree first diagram. So what happens means you can have only the 5 minus 1, that is the n minus 1 edges are allowed. Okay, n minus 1 means only 4 edges are allowed. That is 1 2 3 4. Only 4 edges are allowed, and these edges are not allowed. Okay, if you have more than n minus 1 edges means, then I cannot say that this belongs to a tree data structure. And your second diagram, this diagram belongs to a tree data structure. So you have to see the connection part also. Okay, how they are connected in this diagram. So first one is a it's not a tree data structure. The second one is a tree data structure. Okay, and next let us see the what are the tree terminologies which are used. Okay, so these are the terms you have to remember. Okay, while solving some problems. Okay, so therefore you remember certain terminologies or certain terms which are used in your tree data structure. If you see your linear data structure, like stack means you have for your pushing or that is for inserting or deleting. Okay, you may use a push or pop terms will be used over there. Similarly, in your tree data structure also some terms are used over here. Here first term is root. Okay, this plays an important role. Okay, always you remember that thing. So root will be the first node which will be created in your tree. Always whenever you create a first node, okay, you will call that node as a root node or parent node. Okay, so if you have only one node in your tree data structure means that node will be called as a root node. Okay, let us consider in this example. Okay, this is our example tree data structure. So in this example what happens means, so this A represents the root node. Okay, so this why we call it as a root node means, suppose if you don't have this particular A node, what will happen, all the all other nodes are will not be connected to it, isn't it? So this root node plays a vital role over here. And if you see your any tree data structure, you will have only one root node. That is a first node will be called as a root node. Okay, so in any tree, the first node is called as a root node. So remember this one. So first node will be always called as your root node. Okay, that is a top. And you remember one more thing. So and this one will be in the level 0. Okay, and next one is edge. So what do you mean edge means? So edge is used to connect two nodes. We call it as a edges. Okay, so here you have a node and you have a C node. Okay, so if I want to connect this A node and the C node, one line is drawn between this A node and C node, isn't it? So this we call it as a edge. Okay, so edge is a term which is used to connect two nodes. Okay, it acts as a link between two nodes. Okay, so this we call it as a edge. And next one is parent node. Okay, so I call this root node as a important node. Okay, so other internal node we call it as a parent node. Parent node means, suppose if you in a node you have at least one branch, okay, at least one child, means we call it as that node, we call it as a parent node. Okay, so example, so for this example, so A contains two branches, isn't it? So this is a left branch, this is a right branch, isn't it? So if it contains branches, so if at least it contains a one branches, means then I can call this A node as a parent node or internal node. Okay, so from this diagram I can say that if you see this B also, it contains a branches D, E, F or nothing but a branches of this B node. And this G and H are nothing but a child, that is a children of this C node. Suppose if a node contains any branches or children or child or children, means then that particular node can be called as a parent node or otherwise a internal node. Okay, so if I say that how many internal nodes are there in this diagram, means then I can simply say that how many internal nodes are there. So this A is an internal because I have a branches, and similarly B is another internal node, E is another internal node, G and C is also another internal node. So how many internal nodes are there? 5 internal nodes are there, or parent nodes are there. And other nodes, that is D, I, J, F, K, H. Okay, see here you don't have any branches, that is you don't have any child over there. I call that one as child node, or I can also call it as a leaf node. Okay, suppose if you don't have any branches, means then I call that node as leaf node, or that is I call it as a child node. Okay, suppose if you have at least one branch, means or one child, means then I call that node as a parent node or internal nodes. Okay, so that is the difference between your child node and your parent node. Okay, so for from this example, so how many child node are there, means I have a 5 child node. So what are the child node? D is one child node, I, J, F, then K, H. Okay, so how many child nodes are there, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, isn't it? So I have a 5 child nodes, and I have 6 child nodes, and I have a 5 parent nodes, isn't it? So these are the terminologies which are used in your tree data structure. And next one is what do you mean by sibling? Okay, when we call it as a siblings, means children which belongs to a same parent, we call it as a sibling, isn't it? Similarly, I can call in your tree data structure also, when you have a branches from same nodes, means then I call that node will be a siblings of your parent node. Example, let us consider this example. So for this example, B and C can be called as siblings of your A node. Okay, and D, E, F, these three nodes are the siblings of B node. and G and H are the siblings of a C node, and I and J can be called as a siblings of a E node. And uh, K node, I don't, that is this particular node, I don't have any siblings. Okay, so this is how you have to name the siblings. Suppose you have branches from coming from that is the same nodes, means then I can call that nodes can be called as a siblings. Okay, so I have to mark it like this, that is B and C are nothing but a siblings of this A node. Okay, so B and C are the siblings of a A node. Okay, so this is the sibling of a A node. And D, E, F. Okay, so D, E, F are the siblings of the which node? So siblings of the B node, because all these three nodes or all these three branches are coming from only the B node. And similarly, G and H. Okay, so G and H are the siblings of which node? It is the siblings of the C node, and I and J are the siblings of the E node. Okay, that is the parent node, E node. So this is how you have to name the siblings. Okay, so next one, already we discussed about the internal nodes. So internal nodes means, suppose if you have internal node contains at least one child node, means then I can call that node will be marked as a internal node. Okay, so in this diagram, A, B, C, E, G can be called as a internal nodes. And next one is degree. So degree means how many branches are going from a particular node, we call it as a degree. Okay, so example, if you see this A node, okay, how many branches are going from this A node? I have a one branch and another branch is this one. Okay, so how many branches are going? Two nodes, isn't it? So degree of A node is 2. Okay, similarly you see this B node, how many branches are going? So from this B node, I have, this is your first branch, this is your second branch, and this is your third branch. And for this B node, how many branches are going? Means 3 nodes. So I can say that this B node contains that is the degree is 3. Okay, and similarly if you see this leaf node, okay, I don't have any branches, so I can mark it as a 0. Suppose if you don't have any branches, means then you have to mark it as a 0 degree. So how many children, how many branches you have for a particular node, means, so that is known as a degree in the case of a tree data structure. Okay, so this is how you have to mark a degree in a tree data structure. And next one is level. Okay, so next we are going to see this level. This level is very important. Okay, while you solving this that is a binary search tree. Okay, when you go for that one, this plays a vital role. So always remember that root node, okay, it will be in a level 0. Okay, so after this, when you after the that is a root node, you will have a two branches, isn't it? So that is a B and C. So this two nodes are in a level 1. Okay, so this is how you have to mark your level. Then after that you have to mark it as a level 2, and next one is level 3. Okay, so level is increased from top to bottom. In this way you have to increase the level. So if I want to know that what is the maximum level of this particular tree data structure, means it is 3. Okay, so what is the maximum level? Level is 3. Okay, so always maximum level will be present at your leaf node. Okay, so this is a I, J, K, it's at the leaf node. Okay, if I say that a complete tree data structure, that is a binary tree data structure, means all the leaf nodes will be at the maximum level. Okay, this is not a complete binary tree. If it is a complete binary tree, means then your leaf node will be at the maximum level. So this is how you have to name the level. Okay, remember this one. Always your root node will be at the level 0 and your leaf node will be at the bottom. Okay, so and the level will be increased from top to bottom. And next one important thing is that you have to know the difference between your height and depth. What is the difference between your height and depth? And height is nothing but your let us consider this particular data structure. So how will you mark your height? Means you will take your height from your that is your from the earth to top, isn't it? That is from your foot to head, we call it as a height. Okay, so similarly here also you have to calculate your height. Say suppose if I want to calculate the height of this k node. Okay, so how will I calculate this height of the k node? Means I have to calculate the height from bottom to top. Okay, that is from your leaf node to root node. That is it's not a leaf node, that particular node to your root node. So this is how you have to find out your height. Okay, so how what is the height? Means it is present. Okay, so that is a 1 2 3. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate your height. Okay, next that is your I will say an example. Okay, so if I want to know the height of this a, okay, so from your top to bottom you have to see your height. Okay, so what will be the height? Means you have to see that how many levels are there below this a particular tree. So what is the height of this particular a? Means this is at the one level. Okay, so this is your second level, this is your third level. Okay, so your height of this A should be marked as 3. Okay, and you remember this one, always your height of your leaf node will be marked as 0. Say suppose if I want to know the height of H node. Okay, so if I want to know the height of the H node, means below this H node I don't have any branches, so I cannot calculate any height, isn't it? So simply I can mark it as a height should be marked as a 0. Similarly, this height of this k should be marked as 0, because after this k, I don't have any branches, and this particular node is nothing but your leaf node, and this should be calculated as the height should be calculated as a 0. Similarly, if I want to know to calculate the height of a B node, means then how will you mark the height? So this is the one level. Okay, the height. Next, second one is this one. So height of the that is B is 2. Okay, so listen here. So if I want to know the height of the B node, means then this is the one level, this is the another level. So this is level 1 and this is the level 2 for this particular B node. So what is the height of this B node? Height of the B node is 2. Okay, similarly if I want to know the height of this A, means how we are getting this 3, means so this is the one level, this is another level, and this is another level. So what is the maximum height of the level of this particular node is 3. Okay, therefore the height is 3 for this A node. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate the height. Okay, so from top to bottom you have to calculate the height. Okay, and if I want to calculate the depth, okay, so from depth means what happens, means it is the opposite to that of your height. Okay, so depth means always you remember this, depth of your root node will be your 0. Okay, so in your height, how we are calculating leaf node, you will say that height of your leaf node will be marked as 0, isn't it? But in the case of your depth, okay, depth of your root node should be marked as your 0. Okay, and if I say your depth of a tree, means maximum level, what is the maximum level? Means 1 2 3, isn't it? So this is the maximum level. So if I want to know the depth of the tree, means so depth of the tree is 3. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate the depth of the tree. So these are the some terminologies which is used in your tree data structure. Okay, so height means from top to bottom. Okay, you have to calculate. Okay, and if I want to know the depth means what you have to do. So depth means what happens if I want to know the depth of this k means just opposite of your height. So 1, that is your 1, 2, 3. So you have to mark this depth as 3. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate your depth. Okay, so what is the definition of depth? So depth of a tree is a total number of edges from root to leaf node. Okay, remember this one. So depth means from root node to leaf node you have to calculate your depth. Okay, and from height means from that particular node to your this node. Okay, and next one is path and subtree. So path is nothing but, suppose if I want to know the k path. Okay, so if I want to know the that is from a to j, if I want to know the path means you will have only one path that will be existing in your tree data structure. If you see your graph data structure, you will have a n number of paths. Okay, but in the case of a tree data structure, you will have only one path will be existing between a source node to your destination node. Let us consider this A is a source node and J is a destination node. Means if I want to travel from your source node to destination node, I have only this path. Okay, isn't it? No other choice I have. So this is the this with this pink color we call it as a path, that we call it as a ROUT route. Okay, I can also call it as a route, or I can also call it as a path. Okay, and the next one is subtree. This is the last term which is used in your tree data structure. Subtree is nothing but your sub branches. Okay, so if I say this uh, if I see this diagram, that is this tree diagram. For this A root node, I have a two branches. Okay, this is the left branches, this is the right branches. So for this particular A, this pink color shaded part called as a subtree of your A. Similarly, this green shaded part, okay, we call it as a another subtree of your A node. The whole things. Okay, so that is a B, D, E, F, I, J. All these comes under your subtree of your A. Similarly, for this other side, okay, G, H, K, C. All these comes under your subtree of your A. If it is a binary tree, because for a binary tree you will have only two branches. If it is a binary tree means I can say that left subtree or right subtree. But this is not a binary tree. See, because for this B particular node, how many branches you have? I have a 3 branches. Okay, so this I call it as a general tree. This is not a binary tree. And for your B node, this EIJ, this whole thing I call it as a subtree of your B node. Okay, so this is how you have to categorize your subtree. Can you follow this one? So this for this particular A, this pink whole shaded part comes under one subtree, and this green shaded part will comes under another subtree. Similarly, for this B, you have a gray shaded part. We call it as a subtree. Subtree is nothing but your, it's a other branches for a particular node. We call it as a subtree. Okay, so this is a general diagram. So from this diagram, okay, so now we are going to see what are the terminology which are used. Okay, so can you tell me which is your root node from here? So which is your root node?
One student saying M2.
Okay, ma'am.
We are
Okay.
getting answers from many students as M.
Okay, M is your root node. Okay, so how many internal nodes are there? Can you tell me what are the internal nodes? How many internal nodes and what are they?
getting answer as 444, ma'am, from many students.
Yes. Only 4,
One has been typed as 5. Sukanya, Mohan Prakash, 5.
5 is the right answer. So what is the definition for your internal nodes means? Suppose if you have at least one child means we can call that one as a internal nodes. Okay, you have to include your root node also. Okay, so M is one internal node. Okay, G is another node. Okay, so here M, G, W, D, P. Okay, totally we have 5 nodes can be called as internal nodes. You have to remember, you have to consider your parent, that is a root node, also be called as internal nodes. Okay, and so what are the leaf nodes means? So here you will be having a B, H, J, N, S. Okay, so these are nothing but your internal nodes. Okay, and let's see the property of if your binary tree. Okay, so for a property of a tree, okay, so always remember this one. Already I explained this one, property of a tree. So when you have n nodes in your tree means, always remember you will have a n minus 1 edges, not more than that. Okay, so you will have only the n minus 1 edges. So this is one of the property of your tree data structure. Okay, so when you have a 5 nodes in your tree means, you will have only the 4 edges in your tree data structure. Next one, let us see this different types of tree data structures. Okay, so if I say the types of tree data structure depends upon your structure, I can classify my tree data structure into two types. Okay, so one is a general tree, other one is a binary tree. Actually you can divide your tree data structure into two types. One is the general tree, other one is a binary tree. Okay, so general tree means you will not have any restrictions. Okay, you can have a n number of branches will be connected to a particular node. We call it as a general tree. Suppose you have some restriction, that is at most you can have only 2 branches in a particular node means, then I can call that type of tree as a binary tree. Okay, so that is the difference between your general tree and binary tree. Okay, and in our third unit we are going to concentrate only on your binary tree, not your general tree. Okay, so just for your information, I said that general tree. Okay, if you see this general tree for your P, okay, so how many degree you have means, you have a 3 degree, but in your binary tree you can have only at most 2 degree. That is only two, maximum 2 branches are allowed in the case of a binary tree. Okay, so this is a two examples of your binary tree. So similarly in your binary tree also you will have a n types. Okay, so the one type is that complete binary tree. So this is a normal binary tree and this is a complete binary tree. So normal binary tree means each and every node can have one child or 2 children. Okay, so that is a normal binary tree. That is you can have, that is a particular node can have 0 branches or 1 branch or 2 branches. That can be called as a binary tree. But in the case of a complete binary tree, what happens means, so all the nodes should be either you should have a 0 node or you should have 2 children. You should not have one child. Okay, so that is the rule to be followed your complete binary tree. And in your complete binary tree, in your final level, all the nodes will be filled. Okay, so see this example. For a complete binary tree you have a 3 levels. So in your 3 levels, what happens, all the nodes are filled, isn't it? So this we call it as a complete binary tree. So if I want to calculate the number of nodes which is there in your complete binary tree, if you know the level, okay, and if you want to know how many nodes are there in your complete binary tree means, so this is the formula which is used, that is 2 power L plus 1 minus 1. So So L is nothing but your number of levels which is used over here. So maximum level. So for this maximum level is 3. So this should be calculated as 2 into 3 plus 1, that is 4. Okay. So 2 power 4, then minus 1. Okay. Like this, you have to calculate number of nodes in your complete binary tree. Okay. So next one is a binary search tree. So there is a other type of a binary search tree. So what is the drawback of your binary tree means? So searching will be, particular content will be very difficult. Okay. So therefore, here you are going to follow one procedure, that is the elements which is present in our left subtree will be less than that of your parent node, and the elements which are present in your right subtree should be greater than that of your parent. So that will be discussing in our next classes. Okay. So this is a rule to be followed. Okay. So in order to speed up your searching, they went for your binary search tree. So here also you had one problem, that is, suppose if you don't have a balanced one, here also searching gets some more time. So therefore we went for a balanced tree. So that is a AVL tree, other one is a red black tree. Okay. So these are the different types of binary tree which is there in your tree data structures. Okay. So I thought of explaining this simple code. Okay. Now we don't have time to explain this one. Okay. I will stop over this. Okay. Suppose if you have any doubt, please ask me. So any doubt in this till now? Can you follow this basic terminology? What is my internal node? What is the difference between depth and height? And what do you mean by subtree? Okay, so these are the terms we are going to use in our, that is your next upcoming classes. So I want you people to be very clear those topics. Okay, so if you are clear with this means, then this is okay for you. Is it clear? If you have any doubt, please put in your chat. Otherwise, let us stop this class. Yes, it's clear. Okay, any other? It's no doubt. Can you follow, ma? Okay, ma. Okay.